Hey guys, Randy here. I was sitting out here feeding the squirrels this morning. This is my coffee and critters time where I sit and think about my transition from my current skill set into an AI role. And I realize there's a lot of things you can learn from squirrels. So if you're looking to transition from where you are now into an AI career, I'm in that position right now. I've been in IT for a long time and I've only had IT jobs for the past 15 years. So I got kind of point where after my last job where I got laid off, I was really burned out and maybe thinking of switching careers to something non-IT. But I had lost that energy and passion I had for IT when I first started in it. I was so excited when I first got into IT. I wanted to learn so much stuff. I wanted to try so many things. I wanted to do a good job. But over the years, it became work and not really a passion anymore. So when I discovered AI about a year ago and started following it, it's like it reignited my passion for and merging it with AI. So I've spent months and months now just using it in everyday life. And if you're like me, you didn't know where to start. So maybe my tips can help you. And I'm going to try to relate them to the way squirrels behave as well. Because they have taught me a lot about focusing, getting things done, and not moving on until you've taken care of the thing in front of you, because you might wind up losing it all if you don't put things in a prioritized order. I think I've got a squirrel crawling up the back of my chair right now. I hear scratching noises. Anyway, first thing the squirrels reminded me of this morning was that if in the beginning you're going to be jumping from thing to thing, that's where I was. I started using ChatGPT for just normal everyday searches, and Gemini, Perplexity. I think I had one called Echo. I'm not certain. I quit using it just because I was collecting too many tools that did pretty much the same thing. And I pretty much settled on two tools right now, Gemini and Claude.ai. ChatGPT I'm still playing with, but just to be organized with my collections of research, Claude and Gemini are my main two tools. So you have to play with them and decide which ones work for you best. The other thing I ran into after a few months was I realized I was collecting too many different things, too many different skills, too many different tools. So every time I'd be on Facebook, somebody would make a new post on 10 new Claude AI skills you can download for free. Here's how you build content. Here's my prompts. And I'd be looking at these things, collecting these prompts, these instruction guides, and it was eating up all my time. I was so busy reading over these documents and then putting them into Gemini or Claude and asking for an analysis, and were they any good for me, for my purposes, that I wasn't getting projects done. So I decided that I had to focus on getting something done. So that's what I've done so far. Is I have started one big project, and as I learned more and more about how a professional level enterprise agentic agent creator works, I've modified the program to not behave like that, but to work along those guidelines. For example, I started out doing what everybody does, asking questions at the command line. And then I started refining my prompts as I learned more about prompting. And then I ran across a video about how professional level developers in an enterprise level do their things. And so I went from a prompt level guy to an agent builder guy to an orchestration level guy. Once I learned that orchestration is essentially the top level of how a professional in the enterprise workplace builds out their programs, or builds out their agents, I should say. Still working on the nomenclature. So hopefully this short video will help you out, get you on a path. The biggest thing you can do to help yourself is just pick one. Doesn't matter which platform it is. If you want to use Google's AI Studio to build your agents or your workflows, or you want to use Claude Code or any of the other ones, just pick one and use that as a starting point. The first thing to do is to get hands-on experience. It doesn't matter what kind of experience it is. Do like the squirrels do. Make a choice, test it out. If it doesn't work out the way you want to, pick another tool or research the tool, but focus on getting something done. That's the main thing. Even if it's just using one of the free AI web browser tools like Gemini, start using for everyday research. And one key tip is always make sure that whenever you put in a prompt, tell it to cite its sources, because they can still get things wrong. They can hallucinate. So you can't take everything that an AI gives you as a response as completely true and factual. For example, last night I fed it a transcript where a guy was talking about the economic implications of the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. And I said, basically, who is this guy? What is his agenda? And what is he saying? Give me the unvarnished truth of what is true, what is false, and what is completely speculation on his part. And it spit it back out. And the first thing it said was, as of 2024, the Strait of Hormuz was still open. So I had to tell it to verify your answer. This is 2026. And it came back with the same information about the guy, but this time it says, oh, you're right. Thank you for correcting me. As of this month, there is no traffic in the Strait of Hormuz for the past 2 months. So you can't always trust the answers. Like Reagan said, President Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. And I'll talk to you later.